Welcome to the Media News. The National Bureau of Statistics has stated that Nigeria recorded a reduction in petroleum importation following the removal of fuel subsidy. It also said the total of fuel imports reduced to 20.3 billion litres last year from the 23.54 billion litres recorded in 2022, showing a decrease of 13.77% year-on-year. It disclosed that in the latest petroleum products distribution statistics released by the agency has noted that petrol imports dropped by 3.58 billion litres in the second half of last year compared to the year's first half. The agency said the country imported 8.36 billion litres of premium motor spirits in first half of last year, which is a significant decrease from the 11.94 billion litres imported in first half of last year, making a 29.9% reduction. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has asked the federal government to stop paying lip service to public education in the country. The Imo Zonal Coordinator of the zone, Dennis Aribodo, accused the federal government of underfunding public education in the country at a press conference in Owerri, Imo State. He also accused the federal government of treating university lecturers as 16th century slaves, adding that ASU nationwide will be shutting down universities in the next 14 days should the federal government fails to address the welfare issues affecting public university lecturers in Nigeria. The House of Representatives has taken steps to strip state independent electoral commissions of the power to conduct local government elections. A bill to that effect passed its first reading on the floor of the House, titled "A Bill for an Act to Amend the Electoral Act 2022 to vest INEC with the power to conduct local government council elections and 4 related matters." Sponsored by the member representing Idiato North, Idiato South of our constituency, Imo State, Ikenga Ugochinyere, alongside 24 others, the bill seeks to delete the Electoral Act and replace it with a new subsection. Meanwhile, prominent groups and eminent Nigerians, including federal lawmakers, have been vocal in their demand for independent National Electoral Commission to take over the conduct of council elections, citing the influence and control of state governors over local governments. The federal government has announced plans to distribute 2,000 compressed natural gas-powered tricycles to youth in the informal sector. The government said this will be done in collaboration with the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, who disclosed this during a press conference, urged Nigerians to remain hopeful about the federal government's renewed hope agenda, assuring that better days lie ahead. He added that the first phase of the project will be launched by the end of the year to ensure that tricycle riders, who are predominantly youth, will spend only 20% of what they currently spend on petrol, thereby improving their profit margins and reduce transportation costs for passengers. Mr. Olawande also appealed to Nigerian youth to embrace the various government initiatives, stressing that the future of the country lies in the hands of its youth. In the meantime, the federal government and the United States Agency for International Development have joined forces to drive technological innovation and sustainable development initiatives in the country. This is disclosed in a statement by the Director of Media and Corporate Communications at the National Space Research and Development Agency, Dr. Felix Ali. The collaboration was solidified during the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States of America, where Nigeria's Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Unaji, met with USAID's Chief Innovation Officer, Mohammed Abdul Qadir. Dr. Ali noted that the discussions focused on harnessing technology to address pressing developmental challenges in Nigeria. According to him, the meeting underscored the urgency of innovative partnerships, especially in the areas of artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and digital financial inclusion. No fewer than 150 passengers have been declared missing in a boat accident which occurred at Gbajipo community in Bakwa local government area of Niger State. The accident was said to have occurred at about 8:30 last night while the boat was sailing from Mundi community with 300 people on board. The Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, confirmed in a statement in Mina today that 150 passengers have been rescued alive while search for more survivors is going on. It explained that the agency is directing and monitoring search and rescue operations in collaboration with the State Ministry of Transport, Makwa Local Government Emergency Committee, brave local divers, and other community volunteers. And now to sports. Super Eagles caretaker coach Osun has said the team must have the right mentality to earn a spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Coach Ogwavine, while speaking with newsmen, said the Super Eagles can still make it to the Mundial, insisting that the team must fight for every point. He said the Super Eagles has to be with positive thinking for the country to qualify for the World Cup, stressing that the national team has to approach every game like a cup final, and Nigeria has a big chance once it keeps winning these remaining games, even if it is by a lone goal. The Super Eagles will be away to the Amavubi of Rwanda when the qualifiers resume in March next year. The three-time African champions are yet to win a game in the qualifying series. Nigeria currently occupies 5th position in Group C with 3 points from 4 games. Rwanda, South Africa, and the Republic are joint leaders in the group with 7 points from same number of matches. And on the foreign scene, a top Sudanese general has said the army will press on with its offensive despite international efforts to broker a ceasefire in the 17-month civil war. Assistant Commander-in-Chief Lieutenant General Ibrahim Gabir told newsmen, noting that peace talks, can go on, but the army will not stop. Lieutenant General Gabir was speaking just days after the army launched an operation to regain control of the capital, Khartoum, from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. The general also hinted that the Sudanese authorities had had weapons dealings with Iran and denied there was famine in the country. General Gabir denied allegations that the army is still dragging its feet in approving the necessary paperwork for humanitarian groups, reading off the number of visas and permits issued. He emphasized that the RSF had looted humanitarian goods and was still preventing aid from entering the besieged city of Al-Fashar in North Darfur. Meanwhile, fresh diplomatic attempts to negotiate a cessation of hostilities have failed to make progress. The two sides have been fighting since April last year, where their leaders fell out over the country's future, which has created a humanitarian catastrophe with more than half the country facing hunger and millions forced from their homes. And still on the foreign scene, a Chinese woman has been arrested in Lisbon on suspicion of passing information about Lisbon Hill Airport, which is used as a key transport hub for the German defense industry. German prosecutors said that Yaki 38 had been working for, German prosecutors said Yaki, 38-year-old, had been working for a company providing logistics services at the airport. Prosecutors said she had repeatedly sent details on flights, passengers, and military cargo transports to another figure who worked for China's secret services. The airport is considered an important center for defense exports, particularly to Ukraine. According to a report, second suspect, Jiang Ji, who was detained earlier this year, had been working as an aide for a member of the European Parliament from Germany's far-right AfD party. The prosecutors also alleged that between last year and February this year, she had given Jiang Ji information on the transport of the military equipment and people linked to an unnamed German arms company. And that ends the media news on OSBC television. Join us at 3 for the state news. Good afternoon.